Testing. All right, there we go. Now I should have audio. Let's see. I bet you I did not have audio before. Oh, Ed. Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't know if I can repeat that. I'm gonna have to let everyone read that for themselves. But good to see you, Ed. Great to have you here, man. Let's see what we got. Good morning. Is gold pumping? Let me take a look at gold real quick. Oh yeah, gold's got a nice little pump on it. Wow, look at gold go. Good for the people holding gold, man. Gold is one of those things where it just hasn't moved forever. But if we take a look at the gold chart, we can see that the gold chart's actually performing very nicely. Very nicely. 70% on the last 5 years. Incredible. Let's see what we got. Vern Bell, good to see you. Darren Naples, Steve Truswell, Silver Days, Joe Brink. How's everyone doing today? Good to see everyone, man. Yeah, no, gold is having a nice little day here. That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, that should mean that the dollar is getting put down. Let's take a look at that real quick. Wow, 128 on YouTube already. That's incredible. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in early and really appreciate everyone here. S&P 500 seems to be selling off. Yeah, not much excitement there, but let's take a look at the dollar. DXY, DYA, DXY. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, so the dollar's having a red day. Oh, no, it's not, actually. It's got like a red minute candle on it. Let me switch that over. Wow, the chat is popping. Yeah, guys, make sure to hit that like button. Let's get as many people in here as possible. Hope everyone's doing well. Meckel, check Jeremy Hogan's recent reply tweet about the SEC appeal in the Ripple SEC case. Okay. All right, we can do that. Thank you. Guys, like I say, man, I've been so busy recently. I haven't been as caught up in the Ripple news as in XRP news in terms of things happening at the given moment. So really appreciate anyone pointing stuff out. Oh, very interesting. You know, guys, this is awesome. Really appreciate whoever pointed this to my direction. You guys are gonna like this. So let's listen to this before I comment on it, but here we go.
I'll say on the Ripple appeal point, I'll be curious to see whether the parties appeal there. I think there's some speculation that because Judge Rakoff and the Terra opinion explicitly disagreed with Judge Torres's logic from the Ripple opinion, and then Coinbase doesn't really address the Ripple opinion as much, but almost pretty explicitly adopts the Terra logic. I think there's some speculation that the SEC might just let the Ripple opinion stay there as a district court opinion and not risk, elevating it to a circuit level where they could potentially elicit bad law when they have otherwise favorable rulings in the aftermath of the Ripple litigation. So it'll be interesting to watch after the remedies phase concludes whether either party.
This is what I've been saying on the channel for a while now. And all the legal experts who are not in the XRP community like to run around saying, oh, they need to appeal because bad precedent. Guys, this case is never getting stronger for the SEC. It's always going to be a bad case for the SEC. It doesn't matter how high they appeal it. They can't bring new facts. So this is huge. This is huge, and this is exactly what I've been saying. There are better cases to push forward than the Ripple SEC case for the SEC. They got smoked here. They got smoked here. Let me respond to this real quick. Very interesting. Very interesting. This is awesome. Oh, Blockchain Rocker. Good, good, good. I'm glad you got the membership. Crypto Clay, good to see you. Good to see you. XLM versus Flare to hold with XRP. I'm not sure if I get the question. Over 150 people in the chat, only 45 likes. Yeah, guys, let's get those likes up. I hate to have to say it constantly on the channel, but as soon as you guys start liking the stream, we'll see viewership skyrocket. So really appreciate everyone doing that. The SEC got smoked by Ripple. Why in the world would they elevate this case when they have stronger cases ongoing now? It's time for the SEC to give up and move on. Get that posted. Jeremy Hogan, in response to this, says sound logic. Plus, remember that even if the SEC wins the appeal, the case just comes back down to trial court for further factual determinations. There is no final glorious victory for the SEC up in the Second Circuit, just a potential for disaster. Wow. This is what we've been saying here, but all the legal experts out there were like, oh no, the SEC is going to instantly appeal. It is such a joke. It has been so obvious to me that an appeal is not that beneficial for the SEC. I'm going to do one more. I need another tweet on this. Sorry, guys. 1 second. This is big. Awesome. Yeah, I do. No, it's because, guys, I have this stupid gaming keyboard that, like, I should have never got. It needs to be instantly replaced. So, it is so hard to type on. It is so annoying. Normally when I'm typing emails, I'm typing on my Mac and I can just like fire off words, but these keys are the strokes are so long and it takes so long to actually like finish to actually do it. It's ridiculous. I need a new keyboard bad. Need a new keyboard bad. Nathan.xrpl, man, you've been retweeting my stuff a lot recently, so really appreciate you doing that. I don't know if you're watching the stream live right now, but massive shout out to you, brother. I see you back there, and really appreciate you helping spread the word. It's awesome. It's awesome. Really appreciate it. So yeah, guys, all the legal experts who are anti-Ripple and SEC were like running around saying, oh, there is absolutely no way Ripple wins this case. And then Ripple won the case. And then they're all running around saying, oh, well, it doesn't matter that Ripple won because the SEC is going to appeal. Guys, I've been skeptical on the SEC appealing for a while now. And it looks like that skepticism was well-founded because I don't know if it's going to happen. I do not know if it's going to happen. Also, guys, really appreciate everyone tuning in here. You guys are absolutely incredible. Make sure to drop a like on the stream. It's going to get more people in here. And we want to teach as many people as possible about Ripple and XRP. I am going to throw this over to member only just because the chat is ripping and I cannot keep up. And I want to make sure the members get their chance to ask whatever they want to ask. So we're going to run this over to members only and would love to see you guys over as a member, man. Would love to see that. XRP Peaky Blinder, good to see you. I remember when Jeremy Hogan saying that Torres made the decision I remember Jeremy Hogan that said Torres already made the decision of XRP appeal. I'm not sure if I fully understand, but Judge Torres did make the decision that XRP was not a security and that cannot be appealed. So we have to ask the question, what does the SEC even get out of an appeal, right? They would just be going after the institutional sales, really, that they won on anyway. It's a bad case for the SEC. It's a really bad case for the SEC. And I think this has been my thought for a while, that it didn't make sense for them to appeal it. Doran, aloha, man. Good to see you, brother. Doran, good to see you. Good to see you, brother. Kawhi Girl says, waiting to get my last purchase in. It needs to stay low for one more week. Awesome, Kawhi Girl. Way to build out that bag. And for everyone, right, who's been done buying for a while and wanting the price to rip, just know there's always someone on the other side of that finishing off their bag. Oh, sorry, Taylor. No, man, I haven't been paying attention. I know you're not spamming, brother. Mikkel, I think it's hilarious that Bitcoin maxis are angry at Ripple over the recent Tether ads. Those are the same people who refuse to acknowledge the fact that USDT is being regulated out of existence in the EU. Look, the Bitcoin maxis are delusional, right? It's the same people who hate Ripple when Satoshi himself, as according to David Schwartz, likely holds a large amount of XRP, but specifically said that the Ripple protocol is one of the few protocols out there doing something with trust besides centralizing it in a single server. So, look, the Bitcoin maxis are delusional. And, you know, time after time, they've been proven that their points don't make sense. It is misguided anger. It's anger because, look, they just know that the only thing that could potentially disrupt Bitcoin is XRP. And, guys, I don't say that from the standpoint that, like, I think Bitcoin's going to fail. Like, for those of you who know me, you know I hold a large amount of Bitcoin. I just like to think that I'm practical about it, right? I don't think Bitcoin is going to do the things that XRP does, and I don't think XRP is going to do a lot of things Bitcoin does. So, like, I don't understand the hatred for one over another. And I think the Bitcoin maxis are very, very strong in that weird, misguided hatred, as you put it. Tether headwinds are their own doing. Taylor, they embrace it, right? Like, here's what people don't understand. Like, Tether enjoys being this shady stablecoin. Like, they get a lot of business because of that. And in the same exact way, right, there's a dark market for buying illegal things. Like, that dark market doesn't care about Amazon because Amazon is selling legal blue chip goods. So, like, there's always going to be a service out there for what people need. And just because Tether, right, is moving towards that kind of unregulated, sketchy activity doesn't mean that it's not a useful service. It is a useful service. But for Tether to complain, right, that they're getting pushed to the kind of the unregulated part of the system, they have pushed themselves there, and Ripple's just taking advantage of the fact that there's now a massive hole in the regulated part. Adam says, question, how about Satoshi holding XRP? How would have he accumulated it? Would there not have been on-chain data that could be traced to the wallet or wallet with numerous account with the enormous amount of XRP, David? No, I mean, that's the question, Adam. That's the question, right? Was Satoshi part of the original Ripple or part of the original XRP creation, right? Is he Arthur Brito, right? Did he get a massive amount of XRP in the early days? Did he specifically work on the original XRP ledger? I mean, that's what that implies, right? You're right. Like, how would he be able to buy an enormous amount of XRP without knowing or being there during that early distribution? It's a great question. And I think it begs the question, right? Is David Schwartz or is Arthur Brito really Satoshi, or is he one of the Satoshis, right? Who knows? But, you know, there's always going to be a lot of speculation around that. And the question really is like, what do we end up finding out in the future? And also, guys, really appreciate all of you guys sharing the stream on X. It's the best thing you can do. And if anyone shares a stream on X and does stuff like that, just know you have a high chance of ultimately getting a follow by me in the future. And especially if you like the streams and like the videos. Guys, I can see all the people who are like constantly sharing my content and stuff like that. And I like to always do what I can to give those people a follow on the back end because it really does help me out. Wow, chat's popping today. Love it. Does anyone think Satoshi is David? I think David is one of the Satoshis. I think it's a couple people. So we'll do a poll. It's why I've been bullish on entities working within the regulated system, Coinbase, Circle, Ripple. I agree. Taylor, me and you have the same philosophy. We invest very similarly, and I can tell as soon as you own Coinbase. I don't even like Coinbase, but to ignore where Coinbase sits in this entire equation, I think is foolish. I want to get Uphold. I would love to get Uphold. When Tether fails, Bitcoin will fall too. Yeah, the thing too, though, is, Brian, like a lot of XRP's volume is also Tether, so everything will fall. A lot of people like to make it seem like Tether only goes into Bitcoin, but Tether goes into XRP too. So let's not forget that as a community, right? Tether pumps the entire cryptocurrency market. It's not just Bitcoin. And I think Tether makes up close to like 45% of flows. So who is this? Let's keep moving. Bitcoin maxis are hilarious. First, it was down to the banks and big governments. Then they all buy, and now it's good. Yeah, no, they're Montana. I mean, they're all over the place. How can proper financial institutions really invest in Bitcoin, as they need a fiduciary contract, and everyone with a brain understands that Satoshi is not God, or that Bitcoin being magical gold? Yeah, Deefin, I ultimately agree with you, but I still think people are going to invest into it. Times are changing, so we'll see. Sorry, let me catch back up. If anyone had any questions I didn't answer, feel free to repeat them. What is Ripple waiting for to launch their RLUSD? They might be waiting for stablecoin regulations to pass. Or just putting a bow and a tie on everything. Like, Defin, like, when you're Ripple size, you move slowly. So I don't think they're waiting on anything necessarily. I think they're just wrapping stuff up. It sounded like it was going to launch this year, so maybe it will be right next to stablecoin regulation. We'll have to see. Oh, here we go. This is going to be good. This is going to be another great clip, guys. I can already tell. All right, ready? This is so funny. This is the head of Circle and the head of Ripple on a call together. So this should be interesting.
Which central banks in which countries are you working on?
We're working with many of them. You know, they're mostly under non-disclosure agreements. So I'm not at liberty to share the details, but I would say, you know, we are working with them in each continent apart from Antarctica. You know, the study by the Bank for International Settlements estimates, I think, 80 to 85% of central banks are doing some work. We're at different stages.
Which central banks in which countries are you working on?
We're working
with each continent, guys. Who's the North America player? Who's the North America player? I would love to see it. Would love to see it. You can show that David Schwartz quotes any Bitcoin maxi. Oh man, I would love to go on the Crypto Town Hall show, Taylor, and show them that. Brian says, don't forget to smash the like button. Appreciate that, Brian. Let's see what we're at right now. Let's see what we're at on the likes. Almost over 150. Let's smash that. One-eyed Willie, why Circle's USDC never jumped on the XRP ledger? They probably see Ripple as massive competition, One-eyed Willie. That's all I can think of. I think likely Circle realizes that Ripple is going to eat their lunch in a lot of places.
Many of them, you know,
there's going to get to a point where Circle doesn't have a choice. They need to come over to the XRP ledger. But I think they were kind of in a position and saying, hey, like, if we really like just put Ripple in this position where they can just eat our lunch, that's going to create issues. And also, guys, as you're learning, right, Ripple and Circle really had different strategies for a while. Ripple was working with central banks to issue their own stablecoin, while Circle was creating their own private stablecoin. Now Ripple's doing both. So Circle wanted their strategy to win for large institutions to adopt their stablecoin. I don't think that strategy really ever made any sense. I think large institutions are just going to create their own coin. Taylor said, can't wait to see the draws. Can't wait to see the jaws on the floor when people realize XRP is going to play a pivotal role in the global financial system for the next 50 years. I will be bottling up those maxi tears so I can drink them. Love that, Taylor. Absolutely love that. That's great. That is great. Oh, was that part of this? Was that part of this interview, DFin? If that's part of this interview, let me know because I would love to see it. Because it might be the other way around. It might be that Ripple doesn't want to promote Circle because Ripple knew they were ultimately just going to do their own stable coin. So that would be interesting. If you have a clip of that, please send it. Please send it. Is that from this interview? Maybe Good Morning Crypto posted that. He's been on it recently. Guys, Abs has been killing it. Absolutely killing it. Huge shout out to him. He's doing a really good job of getting all these good interviews out there. So huge shout out to Abs, man. Love that guy. It's 2 to 3 months ago on X. It's tweet, not a clip. Okay. Ready? I'll teach you guys how I dig. Let me see. Andin. That's his name. Who's Anadon? Who is that, DFin? I'll show you guys how I dig real quick. And do you have his handle? Let me see if I can find his real name. Anyone have his handle? I would love to see this. Do you guys know who answered? Do you guys know who answered at Circle? If I can get one name, I'll be able to pull it. Silver Days says smash the likes. Appreciate that, Silver Days. Yeah, guys, that's interesting, man. Talk about an interesting day in the news. I love this. I love this. Oh, God. A mix between Ripple, the SEC not appealing the case, obviously the central bank on every continent. Guys, what's the central bank in North America using Ripple's technology? It's, man, Mexico, Canada, or the US? We know that Ripple was meeting with the Federal Reserve in 2013. So, wow. Incredible stuff. Panos? I think I remember this conversation. You know what's funny, DFin? I probably made a video on this conversation. And this space just moves fast. It's like you totally forget. I probably made a video on this. All right, so I don't know if you guys know how to do this, but this is cool. So if you go to Google and do Twitter advanced search, then we can go from account Panos to Circle. Mentioning XRP. All right, so it looks like he sent it to someone else at Circle, maybe Jeremy O'Leary. See if we can find this. All right. So Panos to Jeremy Allaire. Let's try that. I wonder, damn, maybe I won't be able to pull it on the spot. Unfortunate, but yeah, I saw Jeremy Allaire's tweet the other day. It's just crazy to see Jeremy Allaire and the Ripple guys sitting on a call. It's like there must be some reason behind the scenes we don't know about why Circle hasn't issued on the XRP ledger. I do know what you're talking about, though. Unfortunately, I couldn't pull it. Couldn't pull it. Pressure got to me. Couldn't find it. What Kawhi Girl says, XRP equal retirement. That's the only thing I'm sure about in life. Kawhi Girl, that's awesome. Way to have confidence. There are some people in this community who need your kind of confidence. Seriously. Seriously. It's cool. It really is. And I'm with you, Kawhi Girl. I'm ultra confident, right? I'm ultra confident in where XRP goes. And the more I sit on these DWP calls and get to interact with people, there's a lot of people who are ultra confident, but it's the people who complain and cry that everyone hears about. So aloha, Kawhi Girl. Guys, some people are afraid of volatility to the upside as well. Like, I can't tell you how many people I see like shaking about how they're going to sell when XRP gets to $3. It's like, all right, well, see you later. But I'm going to be here for the long haul. So enjoy your little pocket change. Like, I'm here for something bigger than $3. What was I about to look up? Let's smash 200 likes, guys. Let's smash 200 likes. We got 200 people watching right now. Really appreciate all of you. You guys are incredible. Oh, missed the trash there. Tough. Oh, XRP scan. XRP scan. AMM check. AMM check. Oh my God. Wow. All right. We put in another couple million XRP since the 17th. What's today? What's the date today? The 20th. 3 days, another million XRP locked up. Incredible. This looks like it's stair-stepping faster and faster. Oh, sorry, guys. This looks like it's stair-stepping faster and faster. So this looks like it might be about to go parabolic, guys. We might just get out of nowhere like a single injection of liquidity that puts us over 10 million. Like, I could see that. Like, look at the stair step right now. This is an institution or whatever slowly stair stepping into XRP or the AMM pool. Let's see if we can go to XP market real quick and see who's in the AMM pool. Oh my God. It's really it's this MAG project. They are injecting massive amounts of XRP into the AMM right now. Massive. They have close to 5 million XRP injected alone. That's incredible. Close to 5 million XRP. What's the price of their token doing? Oh, it's on a rip. Wow. Jeez. All right. Look at this thing. $7. $7 in 2022. It's now trading at 2,200. Jesus. That's wild. Holy crap. Good for them. Good for them. That is wild. This is what we need on the XRP ledger. It really is. They are doing something right over here. They are doing something right. It must be their farming. It must be their farming. They need to dox themselves, though. Need to see a dox. Haven't doxed themselves yet. Hopefully that's around the corner. But, geez, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. That's incredible. Way to execute. That's all I can say there. Let's see what else we got in the chat. Strong Mountain. I went from 100 to 200 to 589. Sorry, that was cool. I really said that. What's Strong gonna say? Yeah, I'm way past 20. Yeah, I'm past $20 too, Strong Mountain. Imagine if not for Mt. Gox going under, all of these holders had Bitcoin there, would have been forced to wait a decade before they got their Bitcoin back. They would have all sold at like $500. You're so right, Taylor. Look, I tell this story all the time, and I forget if I've told it before on the channel, but when I first got into investing like 7 to 8 years ago, me and a couple of friends got into investing, right? Like we were all just like, oh, you should learn how to do this, whatever. And I was instantly hooked. So I was instantly like, wow, I love this. I'm never going to stop investing. Like, this is incredible. The rest of my friends, they were like, oh, like, whatever. Like, I bought here, sold here, and then I'm selling everything. And they were just like, they were wannabe traders. They weren't really successful. They lost money. They were buying stuff in the early days that would be very high price now, but they sold it. Whatever. They were all doing that except one friend. I had this one friend who I live with now. He's one of my best friends. Maybe one of my dumbest friends I have. But he bought everything I told him to buy, and some stuff did really well and some stuff didn't do so well, but the vast majority of stuff did really well. And he just never looked at it. He literally just ignored the fact that he had all this. So now he's got like an insane amount of Nvidia from 2017, Tesla from 2017. He bought like a whole bunch of Ethereum and Bitcoin from 2017. Like this dude just has a portfolio massively outperforming any one of my other friends who got involved in investing, but he didn't have to do any thinking. Like he just held it. It was like through his own ignorance and like lack of understanding of what was happening. Like he just held through all the FUD that everyone else got shaken out by. And it's such an important lesson. Like it's such an important lesson to understand that you can't overthink these markets. You can't try to outsmart them. The markets are going to do what they're going to do. Yeah, Taylor, humans are going to human. But you need to understand, right, that as long as you are investing in top quality projects, it needs to be an investment. Like it's not a line. Like I like to try to tell people to think about, like, imagine like the line wasn't there. Imagine there was no line to watch. Imagine it was just, hey, Elon Musk came up to you and said, hey, I have a great business idea. It's called Tesla. I want you to invest $100,000, right? Imagine going to Elon Musk 4 months later and being like, hey, Elon, I need my money back. It's time for me to sell. Like it would be a joke, right? Like, no one would take you seriously. No one would take you seriously. It would be a joke. He would say, no, like, we haven't even had time to deploy this capital yet. Like people, because of the daily updates, because of the charts, get so antsy about this stuff, but it's supposed to be a long-term investment. So it's so important to understand, right? Like in order to see the value of these things, you need to hold for longer periods of time. Did I ever get a chance to brainstorm with David Schwartz? I got to talk to David Schwartz briefly, but never anything more than a brief conversation. Harlan, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. I would not be surprised if they did that. Will Ripple use the XRP escrow to pair with their stablecoin inflows in the AMM? It will affect the price of XRP because that's XRP that could be sold that's instead being locked up. So I think you're on the money there. If you're investing what you can afford to lose and only take profits to finance necessities, you will naturally hold long term and see the largest benefits. Taylor, wow. That is great. That is great, man. Yeah. Guys, having someone like Taylor in this chat is such a massive benefit to like everyone here. Ed, you nailed it too. He said hodl then borrow. Exactly. Hodl then borrow. But Taylor, this is so well said. If you're investing what you can afford to lose and only take profits to finance necessities, you will naturally hold for a long term and see the largest benefits. That is beautiful. So important to understand, right? So many people, their plan is to just liquidate and create cash. Liquidate and create cash. Where is that cash going to go? Like, do you know how many people I've seen liquidate and then say, now I don't know what to do with this cash and put it in a bank account? Like, no. Know what you hold. Knowing what you hold is critical. And it's part of holding with confidence, right? Like, it's part of holding with confidence. If you don't have confidence, you'll never be able to hold for the entire time. Never. And guys, one thing I want to talk about real quick, because I think this is a nice little lesson I can give too, is trying to time markets. So a lot of people here probably have a ton of respect for David Schwartz, right? I think everyone here probably thinks David Schwartz is probably the smartest person in the room. I would completely agree. But it's important to understand, like, David Schwartz, guys, like David Schwartz bought Ethereum. This isn't going to be the exact thing, but bought a bunch of Ethereum at, say, $100 and sold all of it. I need to find a longer term chart of Ethereum. Like, why am I getting an Ethereum chart that starts in 2018? Can someone explain that to me? Oh, geez. We'll go to Bitstamp. Bitstamp always has a nice long history on their chart. Good for them. All right. So David Schwartz, right? David Schwartz, let's say he got a bunch of Ethereum back at $10. I don't know the exact price. He dumped a lot of his Ethereum at $50 to $100, which was a great gain, right? It was a great gain. But a lot of people say, like, why didn't he just buy back in when he liquidated? Well, in many cases, the price never got back to where he liquidated. The price never got back down to this $50 level. And because of that, right, he just never happened to get back into Ethereum. If he had just held, right, if he had just held throughout this entire thing, he would have been up exponentially. But instead, he lost all his Ethereum because he essentially traded it. And he's very, very smart, right? David Schwartz is a very smart guy. And that's one of the problems I see people say. They say, okay, I'm going to buy Ethereum at $10 and then I'm going to sell at $48 and then buy when it goes back to $10. It's like, okay, that can be your plan. But in Ethereum's history, it never got back to $48. So your plan failed from the start. Oh, God. And I'm just yabbering and not even showing the Ethereum chart. So we'll go back over this one more time. Ooh, apologies for that. All right. So David Schwartz was buying Ethereum back here in 2016, sold a bunch in 2017 when he had those profits on Ethereum. Maybe his plan was to buy back Ethereum when it goes back down to the $15 mark. It never went back to the $15 mark, right? In fact, it never went back to the $50 mark. The lowest it ever got was $90. So you can't always just try to do all these different things and try to trade in and out of positions because you don't know where the market's going to go. So if you just held Ethereum for this entire time, right? You would have just made all the profits and not had to worry about it. So important to understand. And he sold an ETH for solar panels. Solar panels. Ask David how necessary those panels are today in 2024. You nailed it, Taylor. You absolutely nailed it. And that's the story, right? That's the story. He sold his Ethereum to buy solar panels. And now those solar panels would be worth millions and millions of dollars. But it's so important to understand. He's so smart, right? So smart. And even he made this mistake. Timing markets like a casino. I bought 1,000 Ethereum at $9 and sold it for 38. Never bought all the way back to eat again because it ran away. Brian, oh my God, this is such a great lesson. And look, man, this is not to poke fun at you at all, but this is such a great lesson for people out there. Such a great lesson for people out there. Brian bought 1,000 Ethereum at $9 and sold at 38, and I never bought back in. So let's take a look at this. And Brian, hopefully this doesn't make you throw up reliving it, but we're going to go over this real quick. This is the exact scenario we just talked about, actually, right? Brian bought Ethereum at $9, sold at 38, and it never went back below that. And guys, the whole reason why I'm harping on this so much and like talking about Ethereum is because it's a great example of Brian and David Schwartz doing this. But this is what I think is going to happen to the people who dump their XRP, right? There's going to be people whose plan is to dump their XRP at $5. Great. They're going to be out right here. They're going to sell all their XRP at $5. And XRP is going to go there and then go right through it. They're out of XRP. Their plan, right, is, okay, I'll just buy XRP when it goes back to $1 and I'll triple my bag, quadruple my bag. But then XRP goes to $90, comes back down to $15 and never goes back to their $5 sell. They just priced themselves out of XRP and they might never get back in. So don't expect just because you have a plan in place that the market's going to follow that plan. Yeah, and it's so counterintuitive, Brian. Like it's so great that you would share that, because how many times have you heard people say, make sure to take profit, right? You don't want to go through another bear market. Make sure to take profit. You hear it constantly. And nothing I'm saying here means like don't sell some, right? God, Brian, like imagine if Brian just sold 100 of his Ethereum. He would have taken profit. He would probably still be kicking himself for selling 100 Ethereum, but he would have taken profit and he still would have had all its Ethereum. So not am I telling anyone, right? Don't take profit on your XRP. Don't buy something nice with your XRP for you and during this journey. I think everyone should go buy themselves something nice with their XRP when XRP hits. Of course, right? When XRP hits, you guys are likely going to have more money than you expect. And I'm not saying not to go buy you or your significant other or your kids or your wife, whoever, right? I'm not saying don't go buy them something nice, because they've had to deal with all our asses not shutting up about this asset class for years, right? They deserve something and you deserve something as well. Like, don't forget to live your life, but also don't forget that we're still in the early days of this asset class, right? We are still in the early days of cryptocurrency, and there's going to be so much more yet to come after all of this, and so many new things XRP achieves 10 years into the future, 15 years in the future. Don't delete your leverage. Now that I hold a forever bag, I won't sell. Only sell up to 75, 25% stay in the bag forever. Also awesome, Brian. I'm glad you have a plan in place that preserves your XRP. Well, my wife will buy herself something nice as she listens. That's so funny, Defin. Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, tell your wife I said hello, man. Does the Tether debacle have the potential to end the next bull run? I don't believe so. Look, when the second Tether goes away, it's just one last thing we ever have to worry about happening again. And I've talked about this on the channel before. I don't think Tether goes away. I think in general, Tether stays around. I really do. I think Tether is going to be regulated and pushed to the dark depths of our financial system. People like Circle and Ripple are going to take over the bigger parts, but I don't think Tether is going to disappear and create this black swan event that many are predicting. We'll see. We'll see. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the news. God, man, the idea that there won't be an appeal in the Ripple SEC case is playing out perfectly to my theory. Still think settling is on the table. Ed, you know, I will get ripped by the legal experts who say no, but with how transitory the SEC is, I do believe a settlement is still on the table. Look, the SEC just lost their head of crypto enforcement, right? You bring a new person as head of crypto enforcement who is disgusted with this case and he wants to settle, the case settles. So that's the biggest thing that I hear people constantly get wrong with how the SEC is structured. People like to make it seem like the SEC is just one constant organization of constant thought. Like, the SEC is constantly switching their opinions and doing ridiculous shit. So while I think a settlement's improbable, I think it's a little silly to say it's impossible because the SEC is swapping out people left and right, and who knows who they're going to swap in and who they're going to swap out. The only way to protect yourself from yourself is to sit on your hands. Well said, Taylor. Why would they appeal? Just if they thought they could win the Ripple SEC case, which I don't think they can. Taylor, I completely agree, man. I completely agree. And you know, Taylor, I've never wanted to run out and say like explicitly no settlement, because look, the SEC could just do something completely illogical. I mean, sorry. I've been screaming that there won't be an appeal for a while. And like, I didn't want to tell people like no appeal or whatever like that, because obviously I don't want to get people's hopes up. And then ultimately the SEC does something illogical and there really is an appeal. So I don't want to be the one running around screaming it, but it seems like the consensus is that there will be an appeal. So I'll go counter consensus and say there won't be an appeal, right? Obviously it's always my guess at the end of the day. I don't want to get people excited for something and then ultimately that doesn't happen. But, you know, I just think it's so important to understand, right? It doesn't seem like to me we're going to see one, and that's my guess there. Post-final judgment settlement makes so much sense. Taylor, it's crazy. If you just downloaded my brain and like downloaded your brain, I think they would like match up perfectly. Where did he go? Somewhere crypto related? Who? Oh, I don't know, Defin. I don't know. I don't think we ever got any reports on where he went. Curious, do you have an investment thesis written down black and white? How would you encourage people to create one? XRP Peaky Blinder, that's a great question. Do I have an investment thesis? So Peaky Blinder, let me just, and I will make sure I answer your next question. When you say investment thesis, do you mean a sellout plan or a thesis for what I believe XRP can achieve and how that goes to prices? I'll tell you what I do. Look, on this channel, I talk constantly. About where I think XRP can go. I have a vision for how the financial system will be run in the future. I have a vision where XRP is critical infrastructure for the next generation financial system, and institutions like the Federal Reserve are literally utilizing XRP as liquidity to move money all around the world. Like, that's my thesis on where XRP fits into this over the grand scheme, right? That is where I want to see Ripple. I want to see Ripple as one of the most important financial institutions on earth. Like, I want to see Ripple like dominate the next generation financial system, and for XRP to be a critical liquidity tool to moving money. And like, that's my end game thesis for XRP. Like, that's when I like look at things and I said, yeah, like this is how I envision things would go. This is the thesis playing out. And that might be a 25 to 30 year vision, right? It doesn't mean that XRP won't move until that happens, right? But when that ultimately happens, I would sit back and say like, this is the thesis. This is how it played out. And in like whatever XRP was at during that time period would be where I would be like, yeah, we made it. Like, I don't have a price associated with that kind of thing happening. All I know is if that was to happen, the price would be exponentially higher than where it is today. And I think exponentially higher than where many people think it could go. So it's a great question. But yeah, I just have a vision, right? And some people like we're probably watching this and saying, oh, I don't think there's any way Ripple's ever going to do that. I don't think there's any way XRP is ever going to do that. So, right, maybe your thesis is different. Me, like the whole reason I got into this is because I see that grand vision for what XRP can achieve, and I want to see it get there, right? I'm here for the whole ride. Also, guys, I'm going to put this beautiful picture of Tokyo up in the background right now. This is crazy. The SEC can position themselves and bluff the appeal, which would get Ripple to cough up some extra dough for clarity. Great point. Great point. Mikkel, I remember those SEC lawyers that had to resign because of Salt Lake, and now the chief of the SEC crypto unit leaves. Oh, yeah, the people are running from the SEC in a dramatic fashion right now. Overall personal for your goals, just spitballing for important things to do. Help stay true to one's idea for cutting emotion. Oh, XRP, Peaky Blinder, that's great. You know, it's so funny. In my new job, I'm working with people one-on-one on their personal goals so often and just making sure that they're prepared for what's yet to come. I've kind of like lost sense of my own personal goals. I think my personal goals are really just to like help other people kind of get to the place they want to be right now. For me, I just kind of know that the more and more I can help people, the more it's going to build out my own personal situation. But it's funny, all the things that I'm helping people do are just things that like I'm also going to want to do with myself. And hopefully there's a time in the future, right, in 10, 15 years where I can focus more on my own personal situation and I can give some more thought on exactly to where I sit. But right now, honestly, like I feel like my everything like I am doing is really for other people. And as crazy as that might sound, I actually get like a lot of enjoyment from it. Like I really do. Like I feel like more fulfilled being able to help people along their journey than I do to like actually just push my own journey forward. And it's not to say that I don't constantly work on my own journey in the background, but you know, I find a lot of enjoyment and a lot of satisfaction with helping other people along that journey. So there's no number where I really get to right now that changes anything. Like it's funny, I've gotten to meet with a lot of people who are in the chat right now, and almost everyone actually has like more value than me myself. Like a lot of people in here hold a lot more XRP than I do. But there's no number of like, if I was a millionaire, would that change what I do on a daily basis? If I was a billionaire, would that change what I do on a daily basis? I mean, I might have someone else answering my emails instead of me answering 150 emails a day. I might change that part, but it wouldn't change the fact that I really just want to be able to come on here and talk with you guys and be able to interact with a great community and help people along their journey. So I don't know. I don't think anything really changes in my own personal goals right now. Now in 10 to 15 years from now, who knows, right? But in the short term, I don't know. I get a lot of enjoyment just working with people and helping them along the journey. I see myself as kind of already having a lot of it set up and done, and I just want to make sure everyone else can kind of get to that same place. So great question, Peaky Blinder. Sorry for the personal monologue there, but yeah, I never really thought much about it, but those are my honest thoughts about it. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Yeah, an XRP Peaky Blinder, it's kind of funny. I never was really like that before I got into this, and it just kind of changed the way that I look at the world in a lot of this way. So it's been a crazy personal journey for me. You have helped me more than anyone in crypto, Mikkel. It was tough in the first year. You got me through, bud. I can't thank you enough. That's awesome, Crypto Clay. That's incredible, man. And you know, that's why I started doing the channel. Is there a way to book a call with me specifically, TK? Yeah, I'm doing all the calls right now, man. So you can book a call with me specifically. In the future, what it'll probably have to be, just to be fully transparent, is at some point in the future, I'm going to have to make it so booking a call with me is more expensive and people can book with one of my assistants. But obviously, like the members here, like you guys are OGs. You guys will always be able to book with me. You guys will always be able to book with me. For other people, right, I'm going to have to tier it because you guys would not believe the amount of calls and the amount of stuff I'm doing on a daily basis right now. Like literally get up in the morning at like 6:30, go to the gym from 7 to 8, start answering calls, start answering emails up until now. I had maybe a 5-minute lunch break, ate my lunch as fast as I could, jumped onto this live stream. I'm going to get off this live stream, instantly go into more of that, and then go into making a video. And then by 5 to 6 that night, I'm going to be lying on my bed. My brain is going to be melted, but I'm still going to be working on YouTube side of things. No, Jonathan's just doing on the LLC side of stuff. Jonathan's doing all that. But I'm going to be doing anything that involves people coming in for full services, so custody as well as advisory. So that's when I take over. If it's just an LLC question, like Jonathan can come in under that part, but yeah. Oh, no problem. Early 90s didn't have this type of information that you could have made us millionaires. Now we do, and crypto is going to be hand in hand with the internet tokenization. Exactly, One-Eyed Willie. And I try to tell people this, right? If it wasn't for, like, obviously this scenario doesn't make sense because you need the internet to have crypto. But like, if it wasn't for social media and like there was still crypto somehow, like no one would ever know about it, right? Like maybe like 100 to 1,000 people in the world would really understand crypto. So it's social media that's really sent this thing to a whole new stratosphere of knowledge. Oh, One-Eyed Willie, that's awesome. Would love to have you over there. Jet Jock, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Jet Jock, I know you're working like a dog recently. Jet Jock, just for you, I'm going to do a quick recap of what we saw today. Jet Jock, the biggest thing we saw earlier today was actually Jeremy Hogan, as well as a former SEC official speculating that there wouldn't be an appeal in the case. The logic behind that is the fact that both attorneys, both the former SEC attorney and Jeremy Hogan, seem to think that there's no point in the SEC appealing because they have better cases going to the Second Circuit. So Jeremy Hogan specifically says, sound logic, plus remember that even if the SEC wins the appeal, the case just comes back down to the trial level court for further factual determinations. There is no final glorious victory for the SEC up in the Second Circuit, just a potential for disaster. So that's the first thing there. And Jet Jock, I'll actually play you this clip real quick. This is the SEC attorney saying that going to the Second Circuit doesn't make a lot of sense.
I'll say on the Ripple appeal point, I'll be curious to see whether the parties appeal there. I think there's some speculation that because Judge Rakoff in the Terra opinion explicitly disagreed with Judge Torres's logic from the Ripple opinion, and then Coinbase doesn't really address the Ripple opinion as much, but almost, pretty explicitly adopts the Terra logic. I think there's some speculation that the SEC might just let the Ripple opinion stay there as a district court opinion and not risk, elevating it to a circuit level where they could potentially elicit bad law when they have otherwise favorable rulings in the aftermath of the Ripple litigation. So it'll be interesting to watch after the remedies phase concludes whether either party. I'll say on the Ripple.
Very interesting. I don't think there's going to be an appeal, and it seems like some of the smartest people in the room are starting to agree with that. Oh, awesome, Taylor. Would really appreciate that, man. And if you get anything interesting out of that, please come to my DMs and fill me in. Really appreciate you, Taylor, man. Jump over there and let me know. And then Jet Jock, the other thing is this clip right here was fascinating. I'll play this for you real quick.
Which central banks in which countries are you working on?
We're working with many of them. They're mostly under non-disclosure agreements. So I'm not at liberty to share the details, but I would say, we are working with them in each continent apart from Antarctica. The study by the Bank for International Settlements estimates, I think, 80 to 85% of central banks are doing some work. We're at different stages.
Which
So there's James Wallace of Ripple saying that he's working with a central bank on every continent. That means one on North America, Mexico, U.S., Canada. Also, he says he's working with many central banks. To me, that sounds like they are really getting some strides going in that department. Another little cool update. And let me just see what else we got here for you, Jet Jock. Oh, consensus. I don't know if you saw this, Jet Jock, but a consensus. The SEC dropped their case against Consensus, but Consensus is still suing the SEC. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I think it might backfire on them a little bit. And yeah, those are the big things. Those are the big things. I'm not sure if I have anything else at the moment. Those are the big things we talked about today. And it was a lot of just talking about investment theses and everything like that. So, Jet Jock, appreciate you stopping in, man. I know you've been super, super busy, and it's just cool to get to say hello to you. And I'm excited to get to see you in person again, hopefully soon. Guys, with that said, I'm going to wrap it up. For anyone tuning in at the end, there you go. You got a full summary just because of Jet Jock. So make sure to give him a quick thank you in the chat. Guys, thank you so much for coming. You guys are all incredible. Love doing this each and every day because of you guys. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great rest of their Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday and then into the weekend. So yeah. Oh, one more quick PSA. This weekend, I'm going to be going to the Travelers Tournament in Connecticut. So if anyone had any plans to go to that Saturday, I will be at the Travelers Tournament in Connecticut. And if anyone's there, you know how to reach me, right? Shoot me a quick message. Let me know you're going to the Travelers on Saturday. And hopefully we can get a beer together or something or chat quick. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. You guys are all incredible. And for now, Mikkel out.